All right, all right. Welcome back, welcome in. You have found us once again, Shoot the Gap, the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Focus Show, here to help you to be gruntled with your fantasy football team and your fantasy football decisions. I am your humble host, Brian the Amigo Baldwin. I'm so glad that you're here. Hope you had a great holiday, a very Merry Christmas, got everything you needed, everything you wanted. I know I had a fantastic Christmas. I got the best gift possible, which was Jalen Waddle. And in my league, he scored 41.80 points, and that helped propel me into the championships, which we call the Rambo. That's the Rambo over my Rambo over my shoulder there. I won it last year. Let's see if the Lord allows me to win it this year. We'll see. But I made it to the game. That's all you could do. The rest is up to him. So we'll see what happens. All right. So this is hopefully you guys are in the same spot. Obviously you are. Okay. Or you're hardcore and you just like hanging out with me. Either which situation is cool. I mean, if you like hanging out with me, that's awesome. If you were able to use our advice to get to the championship, that's fantastic. Okay. If you're just hanging out, like I said, that's I'm just glad you're here. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day and part of your week. All right, so this is our 150th show, December 29th in this hopeful year of our Lord, and I have a great show for you today. Now, today I'll be going over some news. We'll be going over some Shooter Sees Fire for Thursday night football game, and also, like I've been doing, I've been talking about these players that everybody gets all excited about. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about it in a little segment I call "What's Going On." So we can go ahead and discuss about these players and see if they're really something to be excited about or not. I think I had a pretty good hit rate. I think I did pretty good. I think I did pretty good. Yeah. Now I do know that this is the first show since Monday night's game. And you know what? We're here on Thursday. This is Thursday. So Monday night was Monday night. We learned a lot. The only thing, I mean, I'll just real quick lessons. Zach Moss is pyrite. Okay, so don't go in after that. All right, I know that, especially if you're the Derrick Henry manager, which I am a Derrick Henry manager. I'll talk to you about that here in a little bit. But yeah, don't go that route, dude. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. And also, Everett, you can get away from Gerald Everett with Parham on the field. It's not good. And then, and also, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen looks like he's going to be something solid for you. So if you made it to your championships or you're battling for those places, like our league, pretty much every team plays until week 17, because not now, if you didn't make it to the championship, at least you're battling now to see what place you sit in, just for just to have fun playing the game. I mean, because that's what it is, right? It's a game, so that's how we should go ahead and approach it. So just those are just some things I wanted to point out to you. So as you're going forward, set your lineups for the championship week. You're looking at it and you're like, okay, well, Keenan Allen, cool. Gerald Everett, no. Zach Moss, pyrite. Okay. Mike Williams, he is what he is, so he's not going to change. He didn't change. And so if you're starting him, he's a great flex. He has a pretty good floor. So I mean, and Herbert, oh my God, yeah, I almost buried the lead, right? Herbert, what are you gonna do with the Herbs? Oh man, I would go ahead and unless there's something better in the like if there's a Gardner Minshew in the probably not in the pool anymore. I mean, because come on, man, everything's picked through now. There's nothing but bones now, right? So if you have Herbert. Like I have my wife in her league. She in our league she has Herbert and she has Tua. Well, Tua would be a great start, but he's concussed. So and we'll talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that here in a second. But kind of, oh man, I'll tell you about it. But Herbert, yeah, if that's what you got. That's one thing that I was talking to my brother, who's he kind of helps coach me through. Because I mean, we all need help, right? I mean, I'm talking to you. Trying to help you through. I'm your friend. I'm helping you out, right? And so I have to have a support group too, and my brother's one of the ones that I talk to. He's been playing fantasy football since the late '90s, and so he's got some experience, and and he tells you, like one thing he knowledge that he passed on to me that I'll pass on to you, which is don't get cute, man. I mean, like if okay, if you have somebody that goes down, like in my situation, well, I guess I can talk about it. Yeah, Derrick Henry is gone down. I have Ramondre Stevenson, even though he's had 2 turnovers. The that weird. He's the one who started that. Everybody got everybody excited about passing the ball around against the Raiders. He's the one who started that, so I guess he can kind of be blamed for that. But he also fumbled in the 5-yard line. That Bill Belichick hates that crap. Okay, so I'm starting him as opposed to going and grab Zach Moss and putting him in. If Tyler Algier was there, I'd probably grabbed him and use him. But even then, Ramondre Stevenson's good. So just because something's on he's your backup that you've had, and it doesn't mean that you're in a panic, so you have to go and grab something else and go put it in. Thinking that okay, I grabbed something else, put that in, so that'll work. No. Have faith and confidence in the guys that got you there. Don't get cute. Okay, once you get cute, that you start causing problems. So just stay the course. Stay the course. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get started. Now, as you know, it's Christmas time, right? Or it was Christmas time, and so I normally have a segment called Merry Early Christmas. But since Christmas was we just passed, I think we'll go ahead and change it for this time. This time we'll change it to Merry Belated Christmas, okay? Because, it's still a gift, but, it's kind of late. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right. I just went and talked about it. Merry Belated Christmas, Teddy Bridgewater managers. Now, this one, whenever I mentioned it a little bit when I was talking about Herbert, I kind of this is where whenever I was a kid and I used to open up the wrapping, you see where the tape is, and if you kind of push it just enough, you can pull the tape up and kind of look and see what's in there. I just did that to you guys. I apologize. So this one's going to be pretty easy. As you already know, I already told you. Yeah, on Monday, the Dolphins placed Tua Tagovailoa in the concussion protocol. Okay, and as a result, Teddy Bridgewater is slated to start. Okay, so he's going to get the majority of the reps on Wednesday and Thursday, and he'll be in line, of course, to start against the Patriots if Tua can't go, which looks like he's not going to be able to. He got entered into the protocol. The coach has already come out and said that he doesn't think that he's going to play. I mean, all signs are pointing to Teddy Bridgewater, right? So we'll see what happens, but you already know about his Tua's concussion history. Now, if Bridgewater starts, I still think that you should not be worried about Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. All right, last week versus Miami's opponent. Okay, this week, which is the New York Patriots. Excuse me. The T. Higgins had 8 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown. Okay, Jamar Chase had 8 catches for 79 yards and would have been better with a TD, but still, this shows that the top wide receivers are definitely able to produce versus the Patriots. Also, Hill and Waddle are both big parts of the Miami offensive attack, and Tua or no, the Dolphins are still fighting to make the playoffs and should have Tua back in time should they make it. So this might be a whole let's win it for Tua type of thing, right? Where they rally around. So the Dolphins, they did announce, okay, that they had rolled out Tua. I think I mentioned that. I wanted to make sure and point that out there. But it looks like it's going to be kind of this is going to be the thing they use to rally the troops. All right, so I would not be worried about Jalen. I would not be worried about Tyreek. I would just go ahead and start them. There's not really, and like I said at the top, don't get cute. These are the guys that got you there. So if you're in the championship or vying for positions, congratulations. And just make sure and stay the course. You got one more game. Don't shit all over yourself. Okay, all right, so just stay focused. All right, here we go. Merry belated early Christmas, or Merry belated, Christmas, Hassan Haskins managers. Okay, again, it's another one where I kind of opened up the tape a little bit and showed you guys the present. All right, after missing Monday's estimated practice, Derrick Henry was listed as a limited participant in Tuesday's and Wednesday's practice. Great, right? And if you're like me, yeah, like I said, I'm a Derrick Henry manager, so one reason why I hope that you guys come in and allow me to help you out in your fantasy football decisions is because I go ahead and I'm pedantic about this stuff. Okay, I dig deep. So I was reading interviews. I saw the interview that Derrick Henry did, and he was like, "Yeah, man, whatever coach needs me to do, I'll do." I saw a video of him at practice. He looked great, so I was really happy. But then, yesterday, it was reported Derrick Henry is listed now as doubtful for tonight's game against the Cowboys. All right, given that he is listed that way, Hassan Haskins, is the next man up. But there's also Julius Chestnut he will see added snaps versus Dallas, while Jonathan Ward is a candidate to be elevated from the team's practice squad. With Henry unlikely to play Thursday, the Titans' top back will presumably turn his focus to preparing for the team's key divisional showdown with the Jaguars in Week 18. I even sat down and did the math to make sure that all what they were saying, because I'm sure you heard the rhetoric that if they win or lose, it doesn't matter. It's all about Week 18. Man, I sat there and did the math. Yeah, and they're right. They're right. Well, you never know. You never know. I didn't know if it was a talking point or truth, but it turned out to be real news, not fake. So but I have also read that with Henry out, Haskins will be a featured back. But I will tell you that it seems true to me that they will be more likely to do a tandem. All right. I'm also concerned that even if he is a feature back, it's against Dallas, who is the second hardest defense for running backs. So I get kind of shades of Zach Moss here, right? So, he'll be the starting running back for the Titans. So that's a gift. But, it's against the Dallas Cowboys, which I would, be tentative. I mean, remember, Haskins is not the second stringer, really. He's the third. Dontrell Hilliard's the second stringer, and he's on IR. So keep all that in mind, all right? So, and they're not really looking to win the game. So, you see where I'm going with on this. Okay, moving on. Merry belated Christmas. Garrett Wilson managers, okay? So why am I saying that to Garrett Wilson managers? Well, New York Jets QB Mike White received medical clearance from doctors and is on track to reclaim starting quarterback duties for the Jets this Sunday at Seattle. After he was unsuccessful in his efforts to find a doctor who would allow him to play through the fractured ribs he sustained in the Jets' December 11th loss to the Bills, White missed both of the Jets' last two contests, while head coach Robert Saleh turned the offense back over to 2021 number 2 overall pick, Zach Wilson. Ugh. Yeah, with Wilson failing to impress in back-to-back losses to the Lions and Jaguars, it comes as no major surprise that White will recapture the starting job as the 7-8 Jets look to keep their fading playoff hopes alive. Remember that? It didn't seem too long ago when it was like, wow, the Jets are finally going to the playoffs. They got James Robinson. It's going to be awesome. Look where we're at now. So, yeah, but with the gunslinger, but also, all right, this is kind of a multi-gift, all right, because with the gunslinger Mike White back, Garrett Wilson now has the possibility of high production numbers again. This also makes Elijah Moore interesting, but remember a couple weeks ago when I was all excited about Tyler Conklin? Remember that? And then the Mike White, or actually I think it was 3 weeks ago, and then Zach Wilson came and poo-pooed all over my parade. Remember that? Yeah, well, he's gone. I'm excited again. You're talking about Tyler Conklin. Yeah, I know the last 2 games it wasn't good, but that's with Wilson, and nobody was good with Wilson. But before that, with Mike White, he was getting with 2 games with Mike White before Mike White went out. He had 7 targets and he had 8 targets, respectively, right? So he's getting targeted. Okay, he's and it's with the gunslinger. Okay, he's got the eye of the gunslinger, and he's going against Seattle, which right now is the number 1 best matchup for tight ends. Dude, I think Conklin's going to be great. I put him in my championship lineup to see if the Lord blesses him, but it looks good. Everything looks good on paper, so I would go ahead and trust that. Merry early Christmas, Garrett Wilson, and also Tyler Conklin. Yeah, managers. I think it's going to be a good thing there. And I was able to grab Conklin off the waivers, by the way. I was grabbed him in the pool. All right, Merry early Christmas, Allen Lazard managers. Oh, this one hurts because I have this other guy. All right, last Sunday, Green Bay wide receiver 1 Christian Watson left the game at halftime with a hip injury. In his absence, Lazard caught 5 passes from 11 targets for 61 yards. Considering that Green Bay are playing the best matchup for wide receivers, he definitely gets the gift. All right. Head coach Matt LaFleur did say Monday that Watson is considered day-to-day because of his hip. All right. And right before he went out, now listen to this guy, everybody. This was in halftime. Okay. This is just half a game. Okay. Watson caught 6 of 8 passes for 49 yards. Okay. That's just one half. All right. So if he comes back, he said that the injury isn't serious, and he seems positive, Watson that is, but of course you can't trust players now, can you? So he seems positive to play. All right, and he did not he did not practice Wednesday, but you don't get nervous about Wednesday practices, okay? Especially right now and this late in the season. These are more than likely always maintenance days. So you'll hear whenever I go in the news, there's actually some rest that I don't talk about because there's no need to, because until Thursday report, Friday report comes out, those are the big ones to see. All right, so the way that I'm looking at this, all right, is that the if Christian Watson, if he's limited or full on Thursday, then he's good. Well, if he's limited on Thursday, that's good. But if he practices in full on Friday and does not have an injury distinction going into the weekend, then I would go ahead and play him with confidence. All right. But if he's questionable or worse, game time decision, I would go with Allen Lazard. For some reason, I don't know how, but Allen Lazard was in my pool, so I dropped Michael Pittman and picked him up. So I got that covered. So I'm going to play Christian Watson. But if he's a game time decision, or if he's, if it looks kind of, if it looks weird, then I'm going to put in Lazard, because it's still, even if it's Lazard, it's against the worst or the best matchup for wide receivers. All right, moving on. Have Merry Belated Christmas, Jarrett Stidham managers. And no, I'm not talking about the actor. Okay, Jason Stidham. No, not talking about that guy. All right, Jarrett Stidham. Raiders head coach Josh McDaniels announced that the team will start Jarrett Stidham over the next 2 weeks to have a look at the youth at quarterback and other positions. Yeah, Derek Carr won't play, and yes, some vets will be taking a step back. There are reports that they want Carr to be healthy so that they can trade him after the Super Bowl. Now, it's interesting since the Raiders are mathematically still in the hunt for the playoffs, but they are obviously looking towards next year. Now, what is being overlooked right now, it probably won't be, but right now it's being overlooked, is that reportedly Devontae Adams wanted to go to the Raiders, okay, to play with his old college buddy and QB, Derek Carr. He signed a 5-year, $140 million contract, so he's stuck in Vegas. And if you're curious as to how he feels, this is what he posted on Instagram. All right, this is it. I'm going to go ahead and read it verbatim. All right. This man, quote unquote, this man gave everything he had. The reason I'm a Raider, one of the most disciplined and loving people I know, got my brothers back through whatever. And if you can't respect it, excuse my language. Middle finger emoji. Okay, he didn't write middle finger. I'm telling you, it was a middle finger emoji. You, and with 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 exclamation points. No, 4. Okay. So, and it was then followed by 3 shrugging emojis, and then love you, bruh. So it looks like it's gonna get ugly. If you somehow made it to the championship, or you're vying for a spot, and you have Adams, I probably would not. I would not rely on him. I would not rely on Waller. Josh Jacobs is the one that makes me curious, okay? Because there's shades of DeMarco Murray in this, okay? If you don't know who DeMarco Murray is, this is from, like, I don't know, man, 4 or 5 years ago, where he played for Dallas, and he did not get a contract extension, and Dallas just ran him into the ground, man. I mean, I'm telling you, they just gave him play after play after play, let him get banged up. It didn't matter. If his knee hurt, just put duct tape. Rub some dirt on it. You're good to go. Seems a lot like what they're doing with Jacobs right now, right? So it doesn't look like they would actually pull him back. So if you have Jacobs, I wouldn't freak out too much. That's the only one, though, that I would not freak out about. But keep in mind, man, with Stidham at the helm, there's a very good chance you're not gonna have a lot of scoring opportunities. So temper your expectations, all right? But still, it's a gift for Stidham. Last one, Merry Belated Christmas. Cleveland Browns defense managers, the whole Cleveland Browns. Why am I saying that? Okay. Oh, hey, I just got a good news. I just got a message here that Christian Watson will be limited in Thursday practice session, according to Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. That's fantastic news. He's limited, okay? If he gets to full practice tomorrow on Friday, woo! Dude, praise the Lord. Oh, seriously. Go to church, because the Lord loves you, okay, if you have him, all right? Well, he loves you anyway, but still, show some appreciation. All right, because he's blessing you. All right, so back to the Cleveland Browns defense managers. On Tuesday, Washington Commanders head coach Ron Rivera announced that they are starting Carson Wentz over Taylor Heineke for the rest of the season. So why does the Browns get the gift? Well, in the 6 games that Wentz started at the beginning of the year, he threw 6 interceptions and allowed 23 sacks. He also had a record of 2-4 in that span. And guess who they're playing? Yep, the Commanders are playing the Browns. So, because of that, it's Merry Belated Christmas, the whole Cleveland Browns defense. So, yeah, if they're out there on your waiver wire, they're not a bad play now. All right. Ha! Bam! Yeah! Look at that. I'm getting good, right? Yay me. Yay me! I got another. I got it in. Like I ended it right whenever the song ended. Yay me! All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to the news. News is good news. You ain't got any rules. If you ain't got any news. Ah, yeah, right. Gary Gnu, good old Gary Gnu. Okay, let's go and talk about the news here real quick. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, that I put that timestamp right. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, we'll see. All right, okay. Starting with some local news around these parts. I'm here, of course. You see, I'm wearing the Astros hat, so we're based here in Houston. So Arizona Cardinals defensive end J.J. Watt, one of the greatest defensive players in NFL history, will retire after the 2022 season. Watt, the 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, said he played his quote-unquote last ever home game this past Sunday, a 19-16 overtime loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Here's what he said. He wrote on Twitter, "My heart is filled with nothing but love and gratitude. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure." Arizona's remaining 2 games of the season are on the road, at the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday and at the San Francisco 49ers on January 8th. Known as a dominant pass rusher, Watt is likely bound for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, for which he will be eligible in 2028. Come on, man. 2028, right? Should we have flying cars by now? Come on. I know it's an old joke, but still. That's what I think when I see it. The 33-year-old was named Defensive Player of the Year 3 times, tied for most in league history with Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald and New York Giants linebacker Lawrence Taylor, the original and only LT in my opinion. The 7-time All-Pro and 5-time Pro Bowl selection, according to the NFL, was selected with the 11th overall pick in the 2011 NFL Draft by the Houston Texans, where he played the first 10 seasons. He owns the Texans franchise record for the most career sacks with 101. You will be missed, J.J. Watt. Yeah, but I'm sure it's not the last you're going to hear from him. He's a very intelligent guy. Yeah, so he works with the community a lot. So yeah, I'm sure here in Houston we'll see a lot of him. Just like Hakeem. Hakeem, Elijah one. He retired, but he's seen around here all the time. In fact, anyway. Let's move on. The Denver Broncos have announced that first-year head coach Nathaniel Hackett is out the door. Yeah, someone had to take the fall for the disappointing year. Before you get too excited about Sean Payton running over there, the Broncos have named senior assistant coach Jerry Rosburg as the interim head coach. And in case you forgot, he's the guy that the Broncos hired to help Hackett with a clock management strategy at the beginning of the year. Troy Rink of Denver 7 reported that defensive coordinator Ahiro Evero declined the interim job, opting to remain in his current role instead. Okay, since the defense is doing so well, right? So he's like, nah, I'm doing great. I think I need to focus on defense. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want to take the fall or have to answer all those questions and just have to deal with all that mess at the end of the year. So yeah, that was a good move on Evero. Even though it's a step up, I think it was a good decision on his part. We'll see what the offseason brings, but Peyton is the prize pig of head coaches on the offseason, so let's see if they're able to bring him over. It is speculative that Kansas City offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy is in line for a head coaching job this year, but I seriously doubt the Broncos are going with a first-time head coach again. Yeah, I think they're done with that. They're going to go with an old salt. John Gruden maybe, right? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but they're going to definitely be pursuing Sean Payton hard. Considering that that Russell Wilson, to be honest with you, considering Russell Wilson got signed to such a long extension, it seems that he's the guy that, all what we've known and what we've seen with Russell Wilson and offenses around Russell Wilson, you have to build the offense around Russell Wilson. You can't just put him in and say, hey, this is what I want you to do. And he's like, nah, man, I'm unlimited. I'll tell you what to do. So they're going to have to consult him. They're going to have to consult him and find out who he wants. Man, who knows who he's going to pick? That guy is so out there. He might, decide on some sort of like yogi, some sort of, some guy who runs his Pilates, oh, he's such an in tune guy. He'll be able to bring harmony, to the Broncos. Who knows? We know, but maybe he'll be input, but he won't be the, be all end all. But whatever. The point is that there's going to be a new coach, and there's also talk of them blowing it up. So I don't think they'll be able to trade Russell Wilson. Nobody's going to want that contract for what he's shown. So they're kind of stuck with that. But, Sutton, Judy, they might be changing teams. Just keep an eye out for that on the offseason. Last bit of news, the Buccaneers designated Ryan Jensen to return from injury reserve Wednesday. Yeah, this is good news for Tampa Bay. Yeah, Jensen is now slated to resume practicing he resumed practice on Wednesday, I should say, after he suffered a significant knee injury during training camp early this year. The 319-pounder is eligible to make his campaign debut in the New Year's Day matchup against the Panthers. But Tampa Bay will likely ease Jensen into the starting rotation once he's eventually given the green light. So I think this is great news for Tom Brady, and this is great news for Leonard Fournette, and it could be for Rashad White. It could be great news, for Mike Evans, because now maybe he'll be able to have time to get downfield, and so there's a lot. There's a lot of positivity with this news, so good stuff. Wanted to end on a positive note. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on to, shoot or cease fire for Thursday night football. All right, what do you think? I think I need to turn that down a little bit. We're jamming it a little bit much. Okay. Yeah, you agree? Yeah. Oh yeah, he agrees. Man, this is gonna be so easy. All right, Dallas Cowboys at Tennessee Titans. In Tennessee, it's forecasted to be 57 degrees tonight, 24% chance of rain, 10 mile an hour. FanDuel over and under right now is 40.5 points, with Dallas getting the winning by 10.5. Let's just start with easy. Dude, there's nobody that you're going to take a shot on with Tennessee, man. Stay away from the running back. Stay away from Will. Willis. Stay away from all of it, man. Just stay away from Titans. The defense, everything. Stay away. Ceasefire. All Tennessee. All right. And Dallas, just as normal, man. You would shoot on Dak, shoot on CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. The defense, even though Micah Parsons was limited in practice due to hand injury, he's expected to play. The kicker, Brett Maher. Now let's talk about running backs, though. Tony Pollard injured his thigh in last Sunday's game, but didn't practice either on Monday or Tuesday. All right, or Wednesday, I think. Yeah, so monitor his participation, right? But it's not looking good. So that'd be great news for Zeke, right? Well, the Titans are really tough on the run, and they're going to be playing hard in their last home game, so temper your expectations. However, Pollard can't go. You can imagine it's going to be a lot of Zeke, because they're going to be running out the clock. And it's okay. I do want to say one thing. All right, I understand. The want to make sure that Derrick Henry is healthy for Week 18. I understand that, and for your best chance to win and all that. But dude, what kind of precedence is that giving your team to say, you know what, it's okay to lose? Why do that? Why not put out a team that you're going to fight and put out, put the best team you can put out in front of your last home game? Why not bring out the guy that's on the freaking tickets? Why are you sitting him? right? I just don't. I don't get it. I don't understand it. If it was me, I would think the best strategy is to bring momentum into the last game, right? Try to beat. I mean, think about all that momentum. If they beat Dallas Cowboys at home and then they're going to Jacksonville to clinch the playoffs, that's great momentum. But now he's like, yeah, I'm gonna lose. Who cares? Whatever. Who cares? That's the statement that's being said. Who cares? So how do I feel about this game? Who cares? Unless you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, who cares? It's not worth watching. Go watch something else. I believe the Rockets are playing tonight. Go do that. You know, go hang out with your family, man. Do whatever, man. But this game, I don't know. I'll probably have it on because I love football, but I can't see myself doing anything else. Then okay. Hey, look at that. Yay me. I did it again. Right? Into the segment, you know, right whenever the song ended, man. I'm getting better and better at that. All right, so let's go ahead and hopefully that helps you out. I mean, but that's pretty obvious, right? There really wasn't anything that was too like game breaking with that, you know. So you know, I don't see any there was no reason to like to be like, oh wow, you know, that's something that's different, you know, whatever, you know. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would go ahead and move on. Yeah, okay. All right, and as you move on from the Tennessee Titans, I am moving on to what's going on. So let's go ahead and talk about these guys real quick. Okay, I'm just going to do out a handful, you know, just go ahead and just give you my thoughts on them. Tyler Algier, let's talk about him, man. He leads the Falcons backfield in snaps, okay, and rushing attempts over the past 2 games, all right? And Cordero Patterson remains involved, but you know, with the Falcons eliminated from playoffs, there really is not much reason to put him in and risk him, right? He's on he still has a year remaining on his 2-year deal. So, how do we look at Algier? He's playing against the Cardinals, okay? So I think that he is a high running back 2 with Gus of RB1. Okay, so he could be an RB1, so he's definitely somebody that would be excited to play. That's why I said at the top, if you know Derrick Henry, if I didn't have him, I'd be putting in Tyler Algier, but I don't have him. Yeah, some other savvy manager picked him up. Yeah, which was weird because the guy didn't have a game. Well, anyway, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. I have Ramondre. I think Ramondre Stevenson and him are about the same. But especially if Damian Harris doesn't play, you know, if you're a Stevenson manager like me, hopefully Harris doesn't play. Khalil Herbert, how about him? All right, I mean, he averaged 26% of the Bears rushing attempts in games with David Montgomery this season. All right, and which was in line, you know, with his performance in Week 16, which was 23%. All right, he finished the game with a 41% snap rate, okay, compared to 68% for Montgomery. Okay, so this is a run for his team. Okay, so and you know, they're going to be playing against Detroit, you know, who used to be strongest to run, but look what happened with the Panthers, man. That's all they did was just slam them. So I don't know what happened. Maybe they lose somebody. I don't know. They tried to do something different. Look past the Panthers. Heck, I don't know. All right, but it seems true to me that Herbert is more of a boom bust RB3. All right, so keep that in mind. I wouldn't depend on him. Cade Otton. Let's talk about tight end Cade Otton. All right, so he had to share the tight end duties with Cameron Brate over the past several games, but he posted an 83% route participation in Week 16 against the Cardinals. He finished the game with only 2 receptions for 12 yards, but saw 7 targets, the third most on the team. Okay, it's a pass-first offense. Okay, and oh, hang on, there's some news here. Oh my gosh! See, this is another reason why I would say not to watch the darn game. Now they're benching Malik Willis. The Titans are. I mean, a guy named Josh Dobbs is going to be starting. Holy mackerel! Oh my, yeah, this is going to be ugly with a capital U. Yeah, not good. Cade Otton. I think he's a high-end tight end too. The thing that makes me nervous though is that Arizona is one of the best defenses to play your tight end against, and he only got 12 yards. So that makes me very nervous too. So that's why I'm saying he's a tight end too. I guess he's kind of streamable, but just still makes me nervous. Carson Wentz. Oh my gosh! I know people are excited about Carson Wentz, but I would not be. I told you before why it's Merry Early Christmas. You know, so that's just something, a desperation where they're just trying to look for a spark. I would not depend on Carson Wentz at all. I wouldn't put him anywhere near my roster, much more my starting lineup. So I wouldn't even look that direction if I were you. All right. Cam Akers. Cam Akers is somebody that has really come on, and he's somebody that I would go ahead and I would shoot on above if I lost Henry, if I had him. He's got a great matchup against the Chargers in Week 17. Is always a good defense to run against, and they showed the Rams showed last week that that's what they want to do. It's a battle for LA. There's some emotion there. So yeah, I think that he's a good start. I think that he's a strong RB2. That's what I would say. Flex. He'd be a great flex. Garrett Wilson. I already talked to you about Garrett Wilson. I think he's going to be great. I think he's going to be I would say a strong wide receiver 2 with Gus of wide receiver 1. Strong Gus of wide receiver 1. Going against the Seahawks. That Seahawks defense is not good. Mike White loves to sling it. And he's super, super talented. I'd be happy to put him out there. Cortland Sutton, I wouldn't even look his direction. George Kittle. As long as Deebo Samuel's out, man, he's one of the top 2 tight ends. I mean, so, the past 2 games without Deebo, Kittle has dominated, okay? He and Brandon Ayuk are tied for the team lead with 26% target share. And he has 10 receptions for 11 targets for 213 yards and 4 scores 7 years ago. No, I know for four scores, I couldn't resist it. Sorry. And so as long as Debo's out, yeah, Kittle's great. Yeah, same thing with Ayuk. I'm going against Ayuk this week, so come on, Samuels. Get some of that Wolverine blood. Get Mr. Miyagi to do the closed eye thing on you. I need you back, buddy. All right, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, man. Yeah, look at you, Goddard. Look at you, man. After missing the previous 5 contests, he returned to his normal route participation, 88%. Yeah, but he did get a season low 9% target share, but, that was with Gardner Minshew. He's very talented, so he's somebody that I think I would start, and I'd be expecting like mid-range tight end 1 numbers. So he's definitely shootable, startable, however you want to put it. Evan Ingram. Man, he's become a favorite target of Trevor Lawrence. So anytime you see that, especially in the way that tight ends are, I think I view him the same way as Goddard. Strong tight end, or a mid-range tight end 1, a solid tight end 1. Tyler Higbee, man. Let's talk about Tyler Higbee. Let's talk about that, okay? So he posted a 79% route participation on an eye-popping 38% target share in Week 16 against the Broncos. So he's the clear leader in the clubhouse, all right, with Cooper Kupp on the sideline. So unfortunately, his route participation has been unpredictable. In Week 15, we saw him limited to 56% and he has cleared 65% of route participation in only 4 of his past 10 games. Very inconsistent. So he's very volatile. All right. So even though he exploded, and I'm sure that you have him, that you are in your championship, or you're definitely playing this week. If you had him, you played him last week, because boy, did he explode. Tight end 1 last week. All right. Or no, tight end 2. Yeah. But my gosh. Yeah. So no, actually, well, whatever. Up there. Yeah. So he is. I would say that he is a high end tight end 2 with Gus of tight end 1. But I would still call him a boom or bust situation. So I don't think I would be able to really go with him too much. Let's talk about something that's really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. All right. Aaron Jones. Boom or bust running back 2, man. I meant he's banged up. He's been sharing a lot more with A.J. Dillon. So when I know he did really well whenever A.J. Dillon was in concussion protocol, but A.J.'s gonna be back. They're in a must-win mode. Okay, so it's hard to predict how they're gonna use it. But you have to play him. You have to play him if you have him, because considering like your setup, I would put Algier above Aaron Jones. How about that? I would put Stevenson above Aaron Jones. I think, yeah. I think that's what I would go ahead and do. So, yeah. I know it's not pretty, but it's against Minnesota, and it seems true to me that they're going to be passing a lot. I mean, they're going to be putting the ball in Rodgers' hands, so that's what I'm looking at there. That's why I would favor those other guys. Latavius Murray. I'm just moving on. Come on, man. Raheem Mostert. Let's talk about that because that's something that everybody's concerned about. So he took a back seat to Jeff Wilson Jr. last week, which was weird because 2 weeks ago it was Raheem Mostert in the front. So both those guys, we don't know how they're going to be using it. It's very unpredictable. So that would be somebody that would be on my bench. If not, somebody I would cut to grab something else to help improve my team if I needed to grab something. If you didn't like right now, Derrick Henry shows as doubtful. That dreaded D, right? That D. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Why don't you just say out so people can put him in the IR and move on? But you're trapped. You're handcuffed right now. So if you're in that situation, then I would drop Mostert. It just feels weird to drop Henry. I know he's not going to be able to use right now, but come on, man, you can't drop Henry. Terry McLaurin. All right. We only saw Carson Wentz for only 2 drives at the end of the game, but an old trend immediately reared its ugly head. McLaurin was targeted just once on 16 passing attempts. He ignores Terry McLaurin. So whenever Heinicke took over, McLaurin was among the league leaders in target share. Okay, however, with Wentz, his target share was 29% with Heinicke, 16% with Wentz, man. Yeah, boom or bust. Probably not somebody you want to start. Treylon Burks, you already know about Tennessee. Just don't even play it. Don't even play. All right. So that does it for our show. Made it through. Yeah, for our Thursday show. So hopefully I was able to address some things that have popped up. We got some good news on Christian Watson. We got some news about the game on tonight, which, man, is going to be barely watchable unless you're a Cowboys fan, which there's a lot of them. So if you're a Cowboys fan, man, enjoy. You're going to feast like Thanksgiving on the Tennessee. Again, my parting shot, I would go ahead and make sure and again tell you guys, just don't be cute, okay? And make sure that you're making smart moves. I want to go ahead and say this idiom again, okay? I want to put it out in front of you guys again. All right, it's better to start a good player versus a favorable matchup over a great player or an elite player with a bad matchup. Great player. Elite players, you can't sit them right, no matter the matchup. Look at Jalen Waddle. He had a bad matchup last week. To the moon, Dallas, right? So let me go ahead and say it again. It's better to start a good player versus a favorable matchup over a great player with a bad matchup. All right, so keep all that in mind. Trust your instincts, okay? If you made it this far, you're a great player. Trust yourself, all right? Don't fake the fake. Stay true. And remember that just because you have a situation, okay, make sure and keep in mind that if you have a situation that just because you lost Derrick Henry, look at what you got on the bench, all right? Trust what you got on the bench. All right. Remember that all these, if you see things like somebody might not play, they might temper down Christian McCaffrey's snap, or Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was one guy I didn't mention, but he sat, and James Conner sat because of an illness, right? But if it turns out those things are bigger than what they seem right now, remember all these replacements are theories. You want something that's rock solid that you can trust. Unless it's somebody like Joe Mixon going out and you can put in some RGP Ryan with no problem because there's documentation and data for that. Don't get cute. Get cute. All right. So if you enjoyed this show, I want to thank you guys so much and gals for watching. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, leave a comment, but make sure and click that bell. Because I know that we're coming to the end of the season. I think we have one more episode left of our weekly episodes, right? But what we do in the off season is that whenever news hits, we'll do a show, okay? Or if something pops, we'll do a short or do a sniper episode. That there will always, when things happen, trades, if retirements, coaches, anything that might affect things fantasy wise or might affect your planning, we do shows. So when you see shoot the gap pop up, you know something happened. All right, something important happened. So make sure click that bell. All right, because we'll keep you updated as we go through the off season. All right, thank you so much. It was such a joy and pleasure to be part of y'all's lives through this the fantasy football season. All right, and going to end this like I always do with the last line. Remember, everyone, in fantasy football, as in life, don't dream it, be it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck on your games. Okay. Thank you for everything. You have blessed me today. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great day. All right.